with Mark, but Mark losing a position to watch it coming in the infield. Oh no! Oh no! Less than 5. Ooh, I saw a few moves, but let's see if somebody stays clean here. Nice and clean, 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 clean. I'll take that 3 full corners in. We are racing down the straightaway. It is Brian, followed by Jim, Jeremy. A little trouble at the back for Aaron, but up at the front, it's some pressure on Mark. Oh, trouble for Brian. Falls back to third. That's gonna put Jim up in the lead and Mark up into that second spot. Mark gets sideways and gets loose coming into that corner and allows Brian to get into him, but not Brian's fault as Mark was loose there. But in the inside is Jeremy trying to put pressure on Brian, and Jim Pearsall is trying to check out on this first A1. They is already out to a 2.2 second gap, and Brian trying to pull back in as he pulls up the rest of the field behind him. It is Brian in the all yellow, followed by Jeremy in that pink and white. It's the chain gang up into that 4th spot with the red and black. Larry fighting it out with Mark there. Mark takes a little tap. Larry gets a little body tuck there. Gets it cleaned out. He's got Nick Green from the back of the pack behind him. Larry taps. Doesn't turn out so well for him when he taps, but that lets Nick Green up into that position, and Nick has got Braden Maher right behind him with some fresh paint out there. But up at the front, it is Jim Pearsall. He is checked out to a 2.7 second lead, trying to roll away with this one. You let that guy get a run, he is gone. Down the straightaway, the battle for second and third between Brian and Jeremy. Derek in that 4th spot in the red and black. He's got Mark Tamsin up right behind him, trying to chase him down. So that battle for 3rd and 4th, or 4th and 5th down the straightaway. The real battle right now is between Jeremy and Brian in the yellow and the pink and white, working their way in through the pit lane onto the straightaway. Oh, trouble for Mark there. Gets it wrong. He's going to let Nick Green close in and on. Nick in that caster ride's got Braden right behind him, and looks like Aaron in tow there, fighting it out for that 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, as Larry is falling back in 9th and Rain in 10th. As Rain goes, lets the leader by. That green and white stripe working his way into the infield. Now down to a 1.9 second gap is Jim Pearsall, trying to mind the gap there, trying to stay clean. Going to be working his way up through traffic. But that battle for second and third down the straightaway is between Brian and Jeremy. Jeremy's been putting pressure on Brian since the get-go after Brian tapped early, not letting him get away. Brian taking PQ here for the weekend, but sitting in second right now as Pearsall now 1.6 seconds ahead. Oh, trouble for Nick as he ends up upside down on the straightaway. The leader works his way by. The second and third going to come up on Rain here as it looks like Nick has fallen back to Rain. So Nick and Rain fighting out for position, but they're going to have second and third coming up on them, the yellow and the pink and white. Looks like Jeremy a little bit more speed down the straightaway. Trouble for Mark there. Gets it cleaned out. Oh, Rain tries to put it inside right in front of second and third, but he ends up hopping over the wall when they come together side by side. So Nick lets the second and third battle by. That's picked up 4th, Derek. Oh no, trouble for Jeremy. Jeremy having some taps there. Gonna let Brian get away from him and maybe set his sights on Jim. This is only halfway down, drivers. 4 down, 4 to go. So Jim Pearsall trying to hold on to this thing, but Brian is closing in on him now, about 1.9 second gap. Brian threw onto the straightaway, coming up behind Larry. Jeremy trying to pull back the gap onto Brian. Looks like I said, a little bit faster down the straight for Jeremy. Brian a little bit solid in the infield as they work their way down the straightaway. Second and third through the sweeper into the infield behind Larry. But your leader, the green and white, working his way through the center section, trying to keep a tight line there, trying to pull good laps, working his way down straightaway. Oh, trouble for Brian again on that same corner. Gonna let Jeremy close in on him. Up at the middle of the pack here, we got Derek, Braden, Aaron, and Mark fighting it out for that 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Looks like Aaron now closing up on Braden there, right in front of him. Braden is starting to close up on Derek. That battle 4, 5, and 6 there between the black and red, the red and white, and the yellow. Mark there about a couple corners back. Got the leaders going to start coming up on him. But Jeremy trying to close back in on Brian as Brian down the straightaway trying to close in on Jim. About 1.2 seconds is the gap at the line as Jim trying to clean a clean run here, minding the gap, but the gap keeps on closing. So Jim Pearsall in the lead. Brian trying to close in on him. Jim up on two-wheel there. Oh, no. Watch it come out straight. Good job. Second place coming up behind you, Mark. Thank you, sir. So Jim, Brian, Jeremy, Braden up in that 4th spot as Derek falls back to 5th. Aaron in 6th, Mark 7th, Nick in 8th, Rain in 9th, and Larry in 10th after his transition off the track. But the battle right now for the lead is onto the straightaway. They're coming up behind Aaron right now. So leaders get to you, Aaron, know what to do. He lets them by. And you're fighting with Mark behind you, so that battle behind you is a battle. The pink and red pink and white in that 3rd place though, let him by. But the battle right now for the lead, Brian up on Jim Pearsall now. Jim trying to hold and block and find a way to keep Brian behind him. As Brian in the yellow, Jim in the green with 1.5 minutes to go.
How did he lose so much of a lead?
Jim trying to run good clean laps here, but slowing down just a little bit. Lap traffic playing into it. Brian, oh, nice. Oh, he tries to go inside. Jim holding on to it side by side. Oh, Brian goes out to the straight. Takes it inside, but this allowed Jeremy to close up on Brian. So side by side racing there. But the battle right now, Jim falls to 3rd. And Jeremy all over Brian now. Jeremy tries to put it inside there. Jim there now sitting in the catbird seat. Oh, Jim taking pipes there. Not fighting with Mark, but Mark losing a position to watch it coming in the infield. Oh, no. Oh, no. The Marshal causing some issues there as Jim gets by Jeremy. Jim in the green, Jeremy in the pink and white. The leader down through the sweeper. Unfortunately, Marshall doing his job caused some calamity, but that's racing. So Jim now up in that 2nd spot, Brian into that 3rd lead. And about a bit of a gap here now, 1.7 seconds with less than 10 seconds to go. The battle right now, 2nd and 3rd, Jim trying to hold on. Jim taps, oh, Jim tapped there, easy. Oh my gosh, Jim getting the rough end of that one. And I think he's going to fall behind the Cox brothers.
Yep.
So Derek jumps up into 3rd, Jim down to 4th. And that is a race. It's going to be Brian, Jeremy, Derek, Jim, Braden, Mark, Aaron, Nick, Rain, and Larry. Sponsored by One Up Racing. Drivers on the tone, less than 5. And Pearsall moving up early, 1 spot. To the front, oh, Mark getting drove under. Oh, body touch, click, go, go.
Clear it, go.
No, it was clear. Watch going straight, low on the straight. Up at the front, it is Brain trying to put pressure on Nick, but Nick's giving the corner. Larry trying to chase him down here in that 3rd spot. Going inside. Jim Pearsall already up in the 3rd. From 2nd on the grid here. Onto the straightaway. It's Larry chasing down Rain. They get together a little bit. Jim trying to get through there. Oh, body tuck on Larry. So Jim up in the 2nd. Looks like down the straightaway, the battle. Wow, everything changes. Brian up in that 5th spot. Jeremy in 7th. So Jim up into the lead in front of Rain. Got Brayton in that third spot, but the rest of the field is coming. Nick has Brian behind him, trying to hold him off along with Jeremy. So Nick giving up the corner there. Let's see if he can hold on to it. I think he's down to about 6 now. As Brian working his way through with Jeremy. Oh, Jeremy up on 2 wheels after getting caught up by Brayton. Oh, Brayton wrong side of the pipe. Gonna drive it back around. Gonna cost him big time. So your leader, the green with white stripes. This is an 8-minute race. It is a challenge. Looks like Rain giving it up to Brian. Jeremy in that 4th spot. Rain in that 3rd spot. Mark in 5th. Looks like Aaron getting lapped by Larry. Larry in the orange, Aaron in the yellow. As Larry trying to put a lap on Aaron. But it is Jim, Brian, Jeremy, Rain, Mark, Larry, Nick, Derek, Brayton, and Aaron.
Left.
So Jim out to a 6-10 lead. Oh, Jeremy has some trouble coming through this pit lane. So that gives Brian a chance here. Puts pressure on Jim solidly. Jim a little tap. Brian trying to chase him down. As it stands right now, Jim trying to go up to 3rd. But Brian and Jeremy in that 1st and 2nd already from the previous round. Would go 1st and 2nd after the 2nd A. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, gotta watch out for the mark. Look both ways before you cross the road, Daryl. So that changes things up again. Looks like Jeremy got the lead. Jim in that 2nd spot. Rain in that 3rd spot. As Brian falling back. He's got Mark right behind him trying to put pressure on him. So the gap is about 7 tenths behind the Jim. Rain about 1.4 back. Brian trying to put pressure on him, but he's got to worry about Mark. Because Mark putting pressure on Brian. Larry in that 6th spot, Nick in 7th, Brayden 8th, Derek 9th, and Aaron in 10th. So the battle. Looks like Brian getting around Rain. Rain gonna have some pressure from Mark.
3 minutes left.
Mark in that light blue, Rain in the green. Jim trying to put pressure back on Jeremy as Jeremy goes 12-8 to Jim 12-6. Down the straightaway, Jeremy goes 12-4, 12-4 for Jim. Brian trying to get back to that pack. Little tap for Jeremy onto the straightaway. 12-5 to Jim's 12-4. Game of inches. Jim solid through the pit lane chicane there. Tightens up on Jeremy. Brian about 1.8 seconds back from the last lap. Now 1.5 back.
2 minutes left.
As Jeremy and Jim are going 12-4s from 12-4s. Brian's still pulling 12-1s. Rain in that 4th spot. Mark in 5th, Larry 6th, Nick in 7th, Brayden 8th, Derek Knight and Aaron and Tim. No trouble for Brian coming into the infield. Going to lose a little bit of ground to Jim then. So it is Jeremy Marco trying to take this one into home. They will have a 3 based on the points here. Because Brian won the first one, if Jeremy gets the second one here, we'll definitely have a battle to the end here. So the pink and white in front of the driver's stand is your leader, the green and white in second. Brian now 1.9 back. Looks like Mark still about a half a second behind Rain right there coming into the pit lane down the straightaway.
45 seconds left.
Battle for position between 4th place and 5th place coming through the center S. Let's see, Nick about 1.3 behind Braden.
30 seconds left.
Braden in the white, red, blue, Nick in the green and white, but he's got the leaders coming through. So let's see if Jeremy can hold on to closing 20 seconds here.
15 seconds left.
There he is, still trying to put a lap on here. The battle right now, 4th and 5th through the sweeper into the infield. That is the battle between Rain and Mark.
Jeremy Lee initial done. Jim initial done. Nick Green done.
You hit the line, you're going to be done.
Derek Cox done.
It's going into the...
You just like you slow it up a little bit.
You could have messed up if you
Alright. Everybody stays camped nicely. We're going to go on this one. I'll take it. Alright, out to the lead is Brian. Followed by Jim. Oh, Jeremy moving up there in front of Jim. So Jeremy in that pink and white, moving in front of Jim in the green. Got Mark right there on Jim's rear bumper. Watch him on the straight clear. One of the better starts. Brian trying to hold on though. Trouble for Aaron. Bouncing off the walls there, but still holds on to that 5th place. Derek with chain drive in 6th. Followed by Rain, Braden, Nick, and Larry. So it is Brian Miller trying to take this
7 minutes left.
A3. Oh, little tap there. Gonna let Jeremy get up alongside him down the straight. Jeremy cutting all kinds of pressure on Brian. Jim falling just a little bit back there. He's gonna have to worry about Mark as Mark closes in on him. Battle 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4. Looks like Aaron just a little bit back from Mark, trying to close in. Looks like Rain trying to put pressure on Derek, gets around him. Braden in the mix there, but up in the front, it is Brian, Jeremy, and Jim. Couple little taps for Mark there. Brian starting to pull out a gap, but then Jeremy pulls it back together in the infield. They work their way down the straightaway. Brian through the sweeper into the infield, the all yellow, the pink and white of Jeremy, the green and white stripes of Jim.
6 minutes
Mark
left.
in the light blue, the Renix paint job out there of Aaron. Rain. Oh, watch it coming into the pit lane. Oh, hard hit for Larry there. Getting caught up. Braden puts pressure on Derek. Up in the front though, the pressure is all from Jeremy onto Brian. Into the S they go. Through the Z. Jeremy trying to put pressure on him early so he can get by him. Trying to hold on to this, but right now, as it stands, Jeremy can win this one from this position. As Brian does not have the same amount of laps from the first round. So that's what it's going to take. Yeah, it's laps and time. So it can make an issue. Oh, Jeremy rolls it. Let's Jim close it on him. So this is a consistency run. Jeremy trying to hold on to it here. As he gets back up, trying to chase back down onto Brian. Oh, looks like Brayden capping Larry getting by. Sets his sights on Derek. So the battle on the front, Brian starting to stretch down 1.1 down. Jim about 9/10 back. Mark 14 behind Jim. Has been there for pretty much the whole race. So Jim in the green, Mark in the light blue. Trying to put pressure on Jim. 8-minute main. Rain and Aaron finding out the position. Rain getting around the 5th. That's moving him up to 5th overall. So Braden still trying to put pressure on Derek with Larry in tow. Nick Green about 1 second behind that battle. So Nick's still in the mix here. But your leader in front of the driver's stand, followed by Jeremy in second. Pearsall, a little bit of breathing room. Back to Mark.
3 minutes left.
Braden up in that fist spot. Got Aaron right behind him. Oh, trouble for Braden. As he falls back behind Nick. Nick and Braden fighting out the green and white, or green and white and red and white there. Battling for position. Oh, Nick takes a pipe. Braden gets around him. As he moves back up in the ninth, Nick down to 10th. Mark starting to close back in on Jimmy. Oh, Mark just like stopped there. Not sure what the heck happened there, but he comes to the S and just slowed down. So picked up Rain about a half a lap. No, he's about 3 seconds behind Mark. Aaron 9/10 behind Rain. Derek 1.5 behind Aaron. Larry 9/10 behind Derek. So closest battle though up at the front, 3/10 at the line between the leaders. It is Brian, followed by Jeremy. Down the straightaway they go. Brian trying to hold on to this. Jeremy right there, giving him pressure. Mark falling just a little bit back behind Jimmy, and then I tell him that, and he digs back in. Jimmy through the S, Mark through the S, tightens it up too much. Looks like Derek and Aaron and Larry fighting out after the straightaway. They're going to have the balance of the lead coming up on them as they come up on Larry.
45 seconds left.
Down the straightaway. Aaron and Derek and Larry fighting out for 6th, 7th, and 8th with the leaders working their way through. Thank you, Larry. Oh, a little tap for both drivers, top drivers. Jeremy trying to put the pressure on him. For 25 to go, can he get it done? to the straightaway they go one more time.
15 seconds left.
The leader's coming up on Derek and Aaron. They get in the corner. Oh, easy watching on the straight. Oh, and Larry getting by. They're going to run it to the line.
One time is done. Green flag done.
It was already
Oh, little tap by Jeremy there.
Run number done.
Yeah, well, I can make it fun.
I think you got me. And you got me just by that much.
I appreciate when that tapping stuff.
Mark fourth, Green fifth in that race. Larry sixth, Larry, Derek, Brady, and Nick.